A well-designed stairway can transport a contemporary living room back to the Victorian era or create a warm welcome at the entryway. So as you focus on the functional part, do not forget the decor and aesthetics. We have a few stairway designs to make your boring stairway come to life.
And then they walk past the staircase every single day without realizing it's the one element in their home doing more damage to the overall feel than anything else they just fixed. The staircase is the spine of a two-story home. It's often the first thing you see when you walk through the front door. It sets the tone for every room above it. And in most homes, it's been ignored since the day the builder installed it. The good news? You don't need a structural renovation to transform one. You need the right design approach. These 10 staircase treatments are what architects and interior designers are specifying right now, and several of them are more affordable than you think. Let's go. Design 1. Open riser, floating treads. If there is one staircase design that defines contemporary architecture right now, this is it. Open riser, floating tread steps with no vertical face between them, mounted directly to a wall stringer or suspended on steel supports, create a visual effect that no other staircase design can match. The reason they read as expensive and modern is the same reason they look so striking. Without the riser closing off the space between each step, light passes through. You can see the wall behind. The staircase feels weightless rather than solid and imposing. It looks more like a sculptural installation than a functional structure. Solid timber treads, white oak, walnut, or blackened ash, mounted on concealed steel brackets against a painted white wall, is the most replicated version of this design globally right now. It works in virtually any home where the staircase is structurally sound. The cost varies widely, but the principle is accessible. Even retrofitting existing closed riser stairs by removing the riser boards and refinishing the treads costs a fraction of a full rebuild, and the visual transformation is immediate and dramatic. Design 2. Cable rail balustrade. The balustrade, the railing system running alongside the staircase, is where most homes are losing the modern conversation entirely. Turned wood spindles, ornate iron balusters, heavy newel posts. These were the default choices for decades, and in a contemporary home, they read as dated the moment anyone under 50 walks in. Cable rail completely solves this. Stainless steel cables run horizontally between posts at regular intervals, creating a balustrade that is nearly visually transparent. The staircase structure is visible. The space beyond the railing opens up. The whole staircase feels lighter and more connected to the surrounding space. The structural posts can be timber, steel, or a combination, and the choice of post material and finish is where the design character comes from. Blackened steel posts with horizontal cable is one of the most specified combinations in contemporary residential design globally right now. This is also one of the more budget-accessible, modern upgrades. Cable rail systems are available as complete kits for DIY installation, and the materials cost significantly less than equivalent custom iron or fabricated glass railing systems. Modern look, rational price. Design 3. Monochrome painted staircase. This one surprises people because it doesn't involve any structural changes at all. It's entirely paint, and it's one of the most transformative staircase treatments available for under $200. The monochrome approach means painting the entire staircase, treads, risers, spindles, handrail, newel posts in a single deep color: charcoal, black, navy, a deep forest green. Every element painted in the same shade, creating a unified sculptural presence rather than the traditional contrast between stained timber treads and white painted risers. What makes this read as intentional and design forward rather than flat is the depth of the color choice and the quality of the execution. A well-prepared, well-painted monochrome staircase in a deep, matte finish looks architectural. It looks like a decision was made. It dominates the entry in exactly the right way as a feature, not as an afterthought. The risk is commitment. Painting every element the same color feels bold. That's the point. Bold reads as modern. Hesitant reads as dated. This is the upgrade that costs almost nothing and requires almost nothing except the willingness to go all the way with it. Design 4. Glass panel balustrade. Frameless or semi-frameless glass panel balustrades are the choice that keeps appearing in luxury residential architecture precisely because of what they don't do. They don't interrupt sightlines. They don't add visual weight. They don't compete with anything else in the space. Floor-to-ceiling glass panels fitted between minimal hardware channels create a balustrade that's essentially invisible from most angles. The staircase structure is what the eye reads. The view beyond the railing remains open, and in homes where the staircase overlooks a living area or an entry with strong architectural features, That preserved sightline is the entire point. Frameless glass is the premium version. The panels slot into base channels with no visible posts interrupting the surface. Semi-frameless uses minimal steel or aluminum posts at wider intervals with glass infill panels between them, which achieves a very similar visual effect at a significantly lower price point. This is a professional installation in almost all cases. But for a staircase in a position where the view matters, and where traditional balusters are currently closing off that view, the investment pays back every time someone walks through the front door. Design 5. Integrated LED lighting under each tread. Lighting is the detail that separates a staircase that looks considered from one that's just functional. And the version that has the most dramatic impact is also the one most people haven't seen in person yet. LED strip lighting mounted underneath each tread, concealed, continuous. Running the full width of each step creates a staircase that appears to float at night. Each tread glows slightly from beneath. The steps are defined in light without any visible fixture. The wall beside them is washed with a subtle gradient of illumination. It looks like something from a design hotel. The installation is simpler than it sounds. LED channel profiles adhere to the underside of each tread. Low voltage warm white strip LEDs slot into the channel. The whole system runs on a single transformer and can be connected to a dimmer switch. Materials for a standard staircase run between $150 and $300. The key is warm white 2700 Kelvin. Cool or daylight LEDs under stair treads looks clinical and harsh. Warm white looks deliberate and atmospheric. Do it right, and this single detail makes the staircase look like it belongs in an architecture feature. Design 6. Herringbone or patterned tread finish. The tread surface is a canvas that most people leave entirely blank. Stained timber, painted white, carpeted. These are the defaults, and they're exactly that, defaults. No decision, just compliance with what the builder left behind. A herringbone parquet tread changes the entire character of a staircase without changing its structure. Each individual step becomes a small, precise piece of geometric craft. The pattern reads as considered, skilled, and intentional in a way that a plain plank of timber never can. The practical application is more accessible than it looks. Engineered herringbone parquet panels can be cut to tread width and adhered directly onto existing timber treads as a surface overlay. No rebuilding, no structural work. The result is a staircase that looks custom-built and expensive from a material that costs between $30 and $60 per tread, installed by a confident DIYer. Other patterns that work at this scale include chevron, brick bond, and straight-laid parquet in contrasting timber tones. The principle is the same. Pattern signals craft, craft signals quality, and quality is exactly what the eye reads as expensive. Design 7. Exposed concrete or micro-cement treads. Concrete stairs have become one of the defining material choices in contemporary residential design, and the reason is the same reason polished concrete floors took over a decade ago. The material does not pretend to be anything other than what it is, and that honesty reads as sophisticated. Poured concrete treads with a polished or bush-hammered finish, combined with a minimal steel or glass balustrade, creates a staircase with genuine architectural weight. Not the heavy, imposing weight of traditional carved timber or ornate iron. Industrial weight, honest weight, the kind that grounds a space rather than decorating it. Microcement is the retrofit solution for homes where pouring concrete isn't practical. Applied over existing timber or concrete treads at 3 to 5 millimeters thick, microcement creates an identical visual effect without structural implications. A professional microcement application on an average staircase runs between $1,000 and $3,000, a fraction of a full rebuild that achieves the same result. The finish options, matte, satin, polished, and color range from warm gray to deep charcoal make this one of the most adaptable contemporary staircase treatments available. Design 8. Single spine steel stringer. Most staircases are built with 2 stringers, the structural beams running along either side of the steps that carry the tread load. Remove one, center the remaining stringer. And what you have is a design that looks structurally impossible and visually extraordinary. A single central steel spine stringer with cantilevered timber treads extending outward from either side creates the appearance of steps floating in space with no visible support structure. From the side, the staircase looks like a series of horizontal planes with nothing connecting them. It is one of the most dramatic structural statements available in residential architecture. This is not a retrofit project in most cases, it's a structural rebuild and requires engineering sign-off in most jurisdictions. But for a home undergoing renovation where the staircase is already being touched, specifying a single spine stringer instead of the standard double stringer box build costs surprisingly little extra in materials while producing a result that immediately reads as architecturally significant. If you're rebuilding a staircase anyway, this is the specification change that costs the least and transforms the most. Design 9. Oversized newel post as architectural feature. Most newel posts, the upright at the base and top of the staircase, are proportionally timid, 60 to 80 millimeters square, slightly decorative, completely ignorable. Scale them up dramatically and something shifts. A single oversized newel post 200 millimeters square, floor-to-ceiling height, in a contrasting material to the rest of the staircase, becomes an architectural column, a designed element, the kind of detail that makes people stop and ask who designed the house. Concrete, blackened steel, solid timber, or wrapped MDF painted in deep matte all work for this treatment. The key is scale and contrast. The post needs to be genuinely large enough that it reads as intentional rather than slightly oversized, and it needs to contrast clearly with the wall and the surrounding staircase structure. This detail costs between $50 and $200 in materials, takes a weekend to build and finish, and generates more design conversation than almost any other single element in the home. Scale does work that money often can't. Design 10 book-matched timber feature wall alongside the staircase. The staircase wall is the longest unbroken vertical surface in most two-story homes, and in most homes it's completely blank, white paint, maybe a gallery of family photos, mostly nothing. A feature wall treatment running the full height and length of the staircase wall creates something the staircase alone never achieves: a sense that the whole staircase volume was designed as one unified architectural element, not just a functional structure against a painted surface. The most impactful current treatment is book-matched timber cladding panels of natural timber veneer or slat wall, running vertically from ground floor to upper landing, with the grain pattern mirrored at each join. Warm, textural, and immediately architectural. Engineered timber slat wall panels for DIY installation now cost between $40 and $80 per square meter. A standard staircase wall runs between 15 and 30 square meters. The full treatment installed over a weekend costs between $600 and $2,000. The result looks like a $50,000 renovation. This is the backdrop that makes every other staircase design on this list look better. The staircase and the wall are one element. Design them together. The staircase is the most ignored major architectural element in most homes. People redecorate around it for years without touching it, and it quietly undermines every other improvement they make because it still reads as the original builder's choice, made for cost and code rather than for character. Every design on this list addresses a different budget level and a different level of intervention. Some are paint and a weekend, some require a professional, some sit in between. But all 10 share one thing: they were chosen deliberately by someone who understood that the staircase isn't just a way to get between floors. It's a statement about how seriously the home was designed. The most common regret in home renovation isn't spending too much. It's waiting too long and living with the builder's default for years when the fix was already available. Pick the one that fits your home, your budget, and your timeline. Start there. The entry of your home deserves better than what the builder left behind. More of this coming. Architectural, practical, and built around decisions that last. I'll see you in the next one.